Welcome, 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 everybody! This is the Serenyx League Season 0 Masters Division Finals. This is it. Season 0 is nearing its end, and so too will be our middle division here in Masters. I know all of you are here for some Serenyx League Season 0 action. Not only is tonight the Master League's Divisions Finals, but it's also the finals for the Champions Division, the division below it. That is on Zatix's stream, which is spelled XO71CZ, I believe it is. So, XO71CZ, no, 7ICZ, sorry, apologies. So go show support to Zotix as well on Twitch. He's got the Champions Division Finals on his stream. Again, this is Masters Division here as well. 4 teams are in this final bracket. It is double elimination. So, in our first round, it is UE Kanade versus SP Undone. On one side with To Be Determined and NES Censored. Plus on the other side. So, this will be a these matches will all be best of 5 here, uppers and lowers in this double elimination bracket, with the grand finals being a best of 7 and a 1-game advantage. So for both these teams, you don't want to go to lowers early. You'd have to win 2 matches straight there just to go to the grand finals, and from there you'd have a severe disadvantage. It will be of the utmost importance for in our upcoming match with Yui Kanade and SP Undone to get this win, get yourself to the winners finals, and get yourself around further. For a lot of teams, it's tough to adapt to these playoff brackets. A lot of teams really struggle entering these final brackets as well. It's really easy to get in these matches a little bit rusty, a little bit nervous. Very easy to feel that way at the end of Season 0. So, our upcoming matchup will be Yui Kanade versus SP Undone. Kanade the number 1 seed, SP Undone the number 4 seed. So, Kanade are the favorites here, but I mean, when you only have 4 teams in a bracket, it's the top 4 teams. It's going to be a close one. Is it best of 5 until finals? Yes, it is. Best of 5 every match. As we'll get things underway shortly here. It seems like we might be having some issues. As we'll get things sorted out shortly here. Again, apologies as well on that delay, but seems like we're having some tech issues, actually, so we're gonna go and make sure the lobby is set up. It seems like we're having some technical problems as well here. But again, this will hopefully make things easier. Again, we'll get into this match shortly as for Game 1. And again, Kanade versus Undone. So we'll get things sorted out momentarily. Hopefully these teams can join. But again, for Kanade themselves, I couldn't spell their name correctly in chat. Kanade themselves, again, are on that blue side for this one. They're the favorites in this matchup. So let's get things underway, shall we, here for this first best of 5. This is upper semifinals, so both these teams have 2 lives as well here. So we'll hopefully get things sorted. As we'll get things sorted out, we just gotta get this match underway. Apologies here, we seem to have tech issues. Our producer couldn't get the lobby set up quickly here, but we'll get things underway. There we go. Actually, sorry, apologies. Kanade's actually on the orange for this match because of the favorites. It will be Kanade and Undone's on the blues. So Kanade will join on in with Exotic, CB Doshi, and Haku. Undone with Doc, McNutty, and Derpa. And sorry about the delays. We're here for our best of 5 to begin the night here. This is upper semifinals. Kanade, the number 1 seed, although, again, we mentioned it, the number 1 seed, but they actually are not a team that I would have had as my favorites to win this whole thing. That's because they're playing with a substitute tonight. In fact, a substitute they have not played with at all this whole season. Haku, was not part of this Kanade roster before tonight, was actually added in quite late because he was part of a separate roster that, during the season, could not make it in this top 4, so for Haku himself, moving from a roster to Kanade, and in fact for Kanade, he was moving it on because they didn't have enough players available, so Kanade playing with a new roster. This is going to be a very tough match for them, and this Game 1 is going to be important for them. They haven't had a lot of time to adapt to Haku, they haven't had a lot of time to prepare, and that means in a match like this, you got to make sure that if you're going to have chemistry, that it's natural and it comes through quickly, because you could be out of this bracket in just 2 matches, and of course, out of the finals here as Doshi will clear it back. Blade Exotic we'll get this one away. Doshi captured to the corner by Derpa. 1 minute gone and still not much really working here as Kanade will challenge. 1 to play as up goes Doc. Doshi. McNutty to Derpa. This one will roll across the corner. It's an open backfield, but very hesitant here for UE Kanade as SP Undone. Now maybe their first chance, but it will go asking. And so far for Kanade, it's been better from them. They've had more control, but no real shots from either side. Both teams playing, and it, again, looks every bit like they're nervous. And that is definitely going to be the case here, as in goes Doshi, looking for goal one. It's hit off the post, and Blade Exotic could not put it in. Haku with another chance, but it will go wide of the play, as Doc will keep this one. Blade Exotic, Derpa to McNutty. Doshi up, but he won't get this one. It's off the bar, it's on the line. Haku can't get it out, and McNutty with the first goal tonight. Soulless Path Undone. He'll take the first here in game one. Haku raced back, but could not get it away. And it is Soulless Path who themselves have got to be feeling good. That's goal one for them. Being an org that has much representation in these tournaments, it would be very unlike them to not win a championship this season. As Doc taken away. Derpa. Ooh, it's not a great touch here. McNutty will jump up, but a very hesitant play. Looked like as if he didn't want to go for it. A little bit of hesitation here from Undone, as that one goal lead still stands, but it may not stand for long. That one is heading just wide. A double tap attempt will just miss the net. But UE closing in on opportunities here is off that sidewall. Haku. Blade jumps in, but it will be Doc with the ball. Soulless Path still on offense, but it's Doshi. Up is Haku. Ooh, a bit of an awkward play there. Haku still has it. Reset. Haku to the back post. Doshi jumps in. Now Blade Exotic. But it will be McNutty instead. Still no goals for UE. Standing for Yukio Esports. That themselves are known for this level of competition, but they'll break through eventually. Haku's been searching, and the late substitute has struck first for Yukio Esports. That's a strong start. But there's still a lot more to go here, as Blade off the sidewall will have room. Takes it to the dribble, gets that bump on Derpa. But it will be sent away here as Haku waits back. Tied now at 1 here, and the pace has already felt like it's really hastened here. Both teams not slowing down anymore, as it's McNutty, pass 2, it's in front, and it's I Am Derpa to take the lead back for Soulless Path. McNutty again in the middle of it on offense, and for good reason. Soulless Path have now scored twice off of plays McNutty has made. And to Soulless Path not having to play with a sub tonight. You can really tell the difference here. Those rotations a lot crisper, a lot cleaner. UE Kanade having a much tougher time here as it will be cleared back. Doshi. Nutty once again setting up a teammate here. It's Derpa, who was looking for his second, his team's third, but it will not hit the net there. And UE Kanade got away with one. That was an amazing chance here. McNutty, I mean, he's just going in without care at this point. It's the kind of playstyle that during the regular season you will almost never see, but in playoffs, when players are so nervous, when they're willing to sit back a lot more, players who can take chances really do stand out. And we're really seeing that from McNutty. As Doc now will start some offense. Can't get the touch off the corner. Blade Exotic will clear things out here. And Doshi will wait. Is a bit awkward here. Everybody jumped in here for Soulless Path. They will see that ball rise above the net and fall on the other side. Now goes Doshi. Doc doesn't have this one, but Derpa will. That is a booming touch. Haku will take it, but that has just reset all the offense that UE Kanade were looking for. Now they'll go again. Doc beats. This one's going to net. Can McNutty get there? No, he won't. Tied at 2 each. And Kanade have been waiting and waiting. But the chance was there. It was misplayed off the back wall. And now overtime. Looking like it could be guaranteed for game 1. As Blade Doc wins this. Doshi across the map, but Derpa will be there. One last chance in regulation for either of these teams, as it will be McNutty. Blade Exotic will not let them have it. And this will be overtime in our first game of the night. And then a best of five like this, the best of 7 is not until later. Every game could really be a momentum grabber, but you have time to recover, you have time to adapt. But no one wants to go to lowers early. Going to lowers early will mean you have to win 2 straight. It's a much tougher road to be in, as... Oh, Blake doesn't read this one. Haku will, and this will be sent out as Doc off the side wall. Blade will clear it away, as now to the corner. Doc won't have this one, and again, that back wall really becoming an issue for Soulless Path specifically. A couple plays just set up the back wall. That's really what UE has focused on, is just getting the ball to the back wall, making them have awkward, making them miss, and getting the goal from it. That was a rocket from Blade Exotic. And UE with game 1 in the bag. That's a perfect shot from Blade, and at a time that was not expected. Yukio Esports Kanade, the favorites, with game 1. And considering that they're looking to win the whole thing at the end of the night, that's a good start for this Kanade roster. Again, right, not the only match happening right now. To be determined, taking on NES Censored Plus. We'll get you an update on that match when it is confirmed. For now, though, Kanade, one step closer to going to that winner's finals, one step closer to winning the whole thing. But of course, this is going to be a long night. It's going to be a tough road. I don't expect these matches to go by easily. And for Kanade, well, they have a lot more work to do here. As we'll hopefully get them in the lobby shortly. There we go. It seems like they are ready now, so taking that whole minute to talk things out here with both these teams. Now they get to go back in. UE Kanade is 1 game closer. They go to game 2. Trying to get themselves a step closer to that championship, a step closer to that grand finale. At the end of the night, that best of 7. But it's going to be tough to just get there. UE Kanade will still need to win at least 2 more games here. As Blade, get that scoring started. They started very slow in game 1. I don't think Kanade is looking to have that happen again. They required a late equalizer. Not something that you really want to win your games off of. They really don't want to go down early again here as Haku, well, watches that shot goes wide. Blade gets around Doc. Haku with space, but good job from Derpa, just jumps right into this. Still, it's won by UE as this goes back wall. Haku can't read it. Everybody waiting back here. Now it's Doshi. Past Doc. Derpa's got to be careful. He's been bumped out of the way. Off the bar. Oh, Exotic missed it high. A great chance, but Kanade couldn't score. And now they're sent back as Doc plays 1-on-2. Now 1-on-1. The flick goes high. Saved away. And UE will play on the net as McNutty will go back. Only as far as Doshi, though. To the corner. No one waiting for him. And miscommunication now. UE not rotating very well around each other. Slow rotations. On low boost as well. Things could really start to fall apart soon here for Kanade as Doshi. Don't be about Doc, but in goes McNutty, and when McNutty's on the ball, good things seem to happen here for Soulless Path. The ball we cleared away as that's a free man passing play! Oh my, what a shot! UE, continue! That's disgusting! Doshi beats Doc, but the passes before it made this happen. What a perfect play to get that first goal. As this will now be an answer! It's found the back of the net. And, of course, by Derpa, who had a goal last game, nearly 2 last game, and is looking to continue to find his scoring wheels, if you will. 1-1. SP really making sure this job is undone here as Derpa. Haku Pinch up the sidewall. Doc is waiting, but the play will be up in the air. And actually, Doc didn't have a shot on this one, but it will not be threatening that. Doshi's going to have it. No boost in the tank. He'll send it away. McNutty doesn't get it out of defense here. Blade will go, but it is saved by Doc. Now he's got room, and Derpa, and a 2-on-1. Doshi wins the play. Early challenges galore. Now it's shot, front post. That goes wide. Blade to Haku, wide open. It is in the back of the net. McNutty nearly had this one, but the ball trickled in. And it is UE once again showing us what they're made of on offense. GO Esports Kanade now on fire. Multiple goals in a row. But that streak may end soon as McNutty to the back wall. Doshi. Blade jumps in as well. Double commit here will open up room for SP to attack. McNutty to the corner. Can't put the shot on. Derpa without boost, can't go. Doshi doesn't have the right position though. This one's on. Save away. Everybody commit there. It's an open net. Doshi. Oh, he ran into Haku. Still goes in. Everything's going right for Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports Kanade. And even when you think they blew it, still it goes in. Haku with that last touch. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports trying to make this one fast. Halfway through game 2. And a monumental lead at this point. As Doshi looking for another. 2 goals still not done yet. UE Kanade want more, and they may get it too because there's nobody back. McNutty though, 2 demos, and at good timing too. That removes all the offensive chances as now he's going to go on his own. 1-on-1 with Blade. McNutty to the front post. That's off the crossbar. Doc can't put it in. A perfect setup, but Doc didn't read it properly. And that open net chance, really the epitome of what Games 2 has been like for SP Undone. They've been there. They've had their chances. They just have not scored. As now they'll go again. S1. Surely it will be. Doc will score eventually. And Soulless Path is 1 away as Doshi just rushed it. He rushed his chance. Rushed his clear. And honestly, he's just taking a second to compose himself. That goal's not happening. Unfortunately, he tried to rush it. Tried to play fast, and that did not work well. The upper semifinals continues here as Haku will keep it out. Blade to the corner. Doshi, challenged by Doc, is now another touch. Will be for McNutty. Haku clears it back. Derpa always completely pushed. Oh, and Doshi whiffed it. A wide open net for Doshi. You don't get those very often. I mean, we've seen a couple overcommits this game from Soulless Path. I am so surprised Kanade have not scored on more of them. But still, they keep possession with a minute to go. But Derpa takes it back. Haku will win this play. McNutty with Doshi behind. Now he's got a second touch. That's not on target, but it will challenge Blade. And he'll just send it away as Doshi takes out Doc. Haku with a touchdown field. Doshi trying to get it. That's off the bar. Derpa will see the danger away. Still only up by 1 here is UE Kanade. As Haku. 30 seconds to go. Game 2 could be for the favorites in Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports. As Blade Exotic will leave things for Haku, the super sub who is playing with the team today for the, as a replacement with 2 goals this game. And now Doshi, Haku to take it! It's his hat-trick confirmed! And Haku, man, clearly the right choice for Kanade as that super sub, because he has been nothing but elite tonight. Kanade will secure game 2 there. And now we're 1 away from advancing to the winners finals to a guaranteed top 3 finish. As Haku will send it up the field and clear it to the floor. Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports are 1 game away now. Soulless Path Undone. Man, they had a rude awakening here in this final bracket. It is this difficult. And this Kanade roster is this good. 1 win away for Kanade here. Get a news out of the bracket to be determined versus NES. Nebula Esports is Censored Plus. We'll get an answer for you there when that match is concluded. But for now, the pressure is well and truly on the underdogs here of Soulless Path. Again, an org that has so many teams playing this season. Again, I mentioned it would be surprised if they didn't win something. But this is going to be... This is where you really need to show up if you're Soulless Path. At lower bracket awaits whoever loses this series. And it would be lower semifinals as well. A real tough spot to start in, but for now, Soulless Path do have offense. Although they won't score on their first couple chances, they do still keep the ball here as McNutty. Blade, it's a heavy first touch, and jumping in with two players of UE, but Haku clears it up back. Doc will keep it airborne. Doshi. Haku. Now Blade Exotic. To the corner. He's got an infield option in Haku, but that play goes nowhere. Doshi will recover. And what I'm seeing from Kanade is they're leaving that last player very far back. I wonder if we can see maybe more plays where somebody on Soulless Path sneaks in behind and takes those 1v1 chances. We saw a couple last game, but not enough to really be noticeable. They're going to need to create more as here goes Doshi. Looking for the second touch. Will get it. Sets up Blade Exotic. And above everyone else, Blade Exotic will take this one. Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports have shown up at the perfect time. And Kanade, you really feel like this is their night, isn't it? With the way that they're playing, everything's going to plan. Everything's going as they want to. But it will be an answer from Derpa. He's been a pain in the sides of Kanade tonight. Another goal. This might be his 4th or 5th this series. He's been by far the best goal scorer on Soulless Path. For Kanade, though, they are used to these kind of tied predicaments. They just need to take lead again. As Derpa. To the back wall. Blade. Waits. Still Blade. Challenged by McNutty. Now goes Doc. That touch. Oh, it's actually a bounce in there. There was a bump on the back line by McNutty. And Kanade, very lethargic, just slowed it down. And it caught them here. I mean, this is a Kanade team that, so far this series, has wanted to play with speed. It really surprised me that they didn't try to go for that play a little bit faster. Now down by 1, they've got an answer, but here goes Haku. He's been good tonight, and he will continue to be good as that play saved away by Derpa. And with no one else in support, again, that third player waiting so far back. Kanade will give up a little bit of room here to try to take this ball away. Now in front of the nets. Blade, Exotic, up the corner, keeps it out. McNutty will chase after this one. But it will be Kanade who can challenge here. Another demo on a Kanade player just sitting in the midfield. As cleared back by Doc. Blade Exotic has room. Derpa to beat. He'll do just that! Oh, Blade! Just finding goals where it's needed. It's a beautiful recovery. He's faking as if he doesn't have boost as well. That baits in Derpa to jump at him. But Blade had boost, and he makes it work. It's a beautiful tip over the last defender. And in the span of 2 minutes, Kanade have proven this series is continuing to look like it's in their favor as Blade. He just missed that wide. Here goes Haku. Blade! Doshi! Oh my goodness! Blade's done it again! How does this guy keep doing this? And who thinks to go off the back wall with the infield pass like that? I guess Blade's the only one. That was beautiful. Now Kanade with a 2-goal swing courtesy of Blade Exotic. Man, he has been so good here in this game. 2 goals and 1 assist. And still far from done. Half the game still to go. 5 goals already scored from both teams. As now the corner, Derpa. Still Derpa. Haku wins that play. As Doshi races up, McNutty does get that first touch. Will leave it in the midfield, but in goes Blade Exotic. Towards that middle of the field, it's Haku to go. He doesn't have the nets, and he'll keep it wide for Blade. Up the corner, still Blade. McNutty's waiting. Derpa will be challenged by Doshi, but Derpa's gonna run away from this. Flip reset. Can't use it. Didn't get the flip itself. And it will be possession of Yukio, although they didn't exactly do well to keep it here, as McDuddy can't get very far, nearly punched his way through that defense. Kanade will get away with that, though, as they'll go to the corner again. Soulless Path really jumping at the plate now, just trying to do anything they can to win these challenges. That just is not happening easily, but it's another bump. It's another chance. Blade got back in time. McDuddy's been going for a couple of those bump plays. They have worked quite well again. Yui Kanade has a bit of a tendency to sit on the goal line. If McDuddy can get a couple more, I think that opens up the net just enough to get a few more goals and win out this game, and maybe start that chance for a reverse sweep. Instead, it is Kanade who, while they've had their issues with those demos, still hold a 1-goal advantage. Now make that 2, because Blade Exotic has completed his hat trick. 3 goals on 3 shots. Blade just looking unstoppable here in Game 3. And Yui Kanade, with a minute to go, just need to hold this lead. And they will win this match in a sweep, go to the winners finals. But now really is where SP Undone need to show up. Off the corner, Doshi. Still Doshi. Gets by Doc. But he'll leave this play as without a lot to work with. He just has to sit back. McDuddy shot it straight into him here. Doshi's continuing to win the challenges. But he won't win much more here as Derpa's going to get rid of this. On the move. Doshi. Ooh, he got faked out by Doc. Now Blade's got beat. Oh, but Haku, that is some clean goal line defense there. No panic whatsoever. It's tough to do that when you have a demo on you, you have another player going for a flick, you have someone right behind them. Calm and collected here for Kanade onto the goal line. And they'll get away from defense now, with time running low here for Soulless Path in the upper brackets. 10 seconds, they've got to get upfield here. Haku will win the challenge though, as Derpa keeps it away. Blade will take another. Doshi towards goal. There is no time left. Yokio Esports Kanade will advance to the winners finals. As for Soulless Path Undone, their final bracket run now must continue through the lower brackets. A Frio sweep, Kanade made that look easy. 3 games, 3 wins. Kanade just looked unstoppable at times. And all of the players on that roster had their moments to really show up, really stand out. So a Frio sweep. That is a massive, massive victory for them. And wow, what a performance here. 3 games. And an incredible, incredible showing here as... Again, that will be... Well, that will be the first series of the day, the winners finals here, as they'll be taking on the winner of To Be Determined and NES Censored Plus. But for Yui Kanade, they continue to look like this. It's going to be tough to deal with that offense. But for now, we are going to go for a break. We're going to wait for the other winners semifinals to conclude. Once it is, we'll be back with the winners finals. Another best of 5. Kanade is guaranteed a spot in the top 3. We'll see, though, who will get a spot in the top 2 and a chance to win the whole entire Masters division. For now, we go to break. We'll be back very soon with the winners finals. Welcome back to the Serenyx League Season 0 Masters Finals. I'm SpuddyOFC, and we've got more action to go to here. The winners finals. It wasn't a very long break, and that's because To Be Determined won their match in a 3-0 sweep. So that means for NES Censored Plus and SP Undone, their run's not over. They're in the lower bracket, but one of those two teams will be eliminated. For us, though, we're staying in the upper bracket to watch the winners finals. UE Kanade versus To Be Determined. So we'll get to see the winners finals. After this, we'll go to lower finals and then grand finals afterwards. So for now, we are about ready to get things underway. Again, this is a best of 5 here, so let's get things underway now, shall we? UE Kanade retakes the orange. It is To Be Determined on the blue with VDL, Slushy, and Little Godwolf. To Be Determined as a roster, having won their last match in a sweep. They're the second seed in this tournament, so far, these matches going somewhat as expected, maybe a little bit more one-sided than we thought it would be, but that is sometimes the case in these playoffs matches, that sometimes things are a little bit more one-sided than you expect. I mean, you face so many pressures in this final bracket, so for both these teams, they're the top of the group, they're the top in their division. Now it's time for them to compete against each other here, as Doshi, beat by Slushy. Blade Exotic will go for the play as VDL. Haku, again, reminders that Super Sub was the leader for this roster last series, but in comes Doshi trying to take goal 1. Slushy falls on top of it. VDL will clear it out. And TBD will get this one away. Now they go to offense. Maybe a chance back, but double commit. In goes VDL, though! That is a risky chance, but they will work with it. And that was risky for VDL. He was the last one back. If he doesn't win that challenge, that's a goal the other way. But the risk worked perfectly. He got to the ball first. And To Be Determined have scored first. What a performance for them. I mean, again, they might be the second team in this tournament, but in terms of the record, though, the record not exactly one like a second seed. 6-6 at the end of the regular season. Kanade themselves, by comparison, 11-1. So for Kanade, heavy favorites, but again, they're playing with that sub. And this To Be Determined team, I mean, this is a team that's inconsistent. They've been noticeably inconsistent this season. But when they are feeling good, this team is apparently unbeatable at times. So we'll see if tonight is one of those nights where they are feeling and looking unbeatable. For now, they do take goal 1 as VDL. To Little Godwolf, can't put it in. Slushy's got room, though, and very defensive right now here for UE Kanade. As again cleared back, Haku will leave it as Slushy keeping it in front of the goal. Haku gets bumped. Now in goes Little Godwolf. Again, still the aggression going as Little Godwolf trying to sneak that one in the front post. But it won't go in. Still a lot of pressure here, and To Be Determined just not letting up here. This is just a team that does not let up, does not let go, and man, they always have an answer as VDL in front, kept away by Haku, and Doshi will get rid of this one. For Kanade, last series was all about getting themselves on offense and getting tons of shots. This series, it's about the quality of the effort they have. They're not going to get that many chances, clearly. They're going to need to really make sure that the chances that they do have will be worthwhile. So far, though, 4 shots this game, but honestly, can't even think of any of them that have been all that noticeable. As for this To Be Determined team, continuous offensive plays after play. Kanade's really stretched to the limits here as VDL to the back wall. Haku will be waiting. Still VDL as he will go to the corner. And Little Godwolf will jump in off the back wall. Still trying to search for that second goal, but the play will go nowhere. And it will be cleared back. As now up the field again. This time it is Kanade. Shot on. Saved by VDL. Another chance. VDL once again stands in the way. 2 saves this game, but man, they've been important. And the 1-goal lead stands for To Be Determined. That offense of theirs has not done enough damage to get them away from game 1. And now Doshi gets that bump. Blade Exotic to the midfield. It is! Oh, what a save! VDL has another one, robbing Haku on the goal line. And again, VDL. Man, every save he's made this game has been expertly played. Kanade, not for a lack of trying, really has put great efforts on those shots. But clearly VDL on a whole nother level right now. And for Kanade, they'll need to go all over again. And with little time to go, Blade to the midfield. Slushy clears it back. As up goes Haku. 1 minute remains. Still this lead held by the lone goal from VDL earlier in the game. To be determined. Continue to stay defensive. That's another play to the midfield. Haku can't go for this. Now he will, but Little Godwolf has it. It's played exotic, can't put it on. As Doshi to the ceiling. Has Little Godwolf waiting. And the shot's just not hitting the mark right now. They've had so many good efforts, but VDL has been leading his team, not just in scoring, but in goal line saves. As VDL trying to find another one, but it will go wide. And now with 10 seconds left, maybe one chance left. Here for Kanade, midfield. Doshi, that's left corner. And finally, VDL falls. And after how many saves he's made, I didn't know if this was gonna go in or not either. But just out of position. And man, after all this time with 5 seconds left, Kanade finally put one in. And this is a huge match for them as well. To be determined, we're the one team that beat them in the regular season. Back in Week 5, it was a 3-2 scoreline. In fact, the other match they played was a forfeit win for Kanade. So for Kanade, in every match they played against To Be Determined, they have not won so far. But we'll be playing the midfield here as Doshi. And will be clearing it out. Overtime, once again in Game 1 here. And Kanade's pretty good under this pressure. I had to face it last series, but against a whole different roster in Solace Path. As VDL, Slushy, Haku, open room and head. Blade Exotic goes. He can score from here, but that goes off the crossbar. And Yui Kanade will need to search again. VDL, Doshi, high bounce. Still Doshi. Extra flip to use. VDL will take it as Haku on target. Oh, Little Godwolf whiffed. And a mistake will end Game 1 right there. Kanade with Game 1. Haku just threw it at net, and sometimes it works. This time it will. A whiff from Little Godwolf. And boy, that is some bad timing. Game 1 will go to Yukio Esports. And again, a step closer to that Grand Finals now. A step closer to a top 2 guaranteed finish. Yukio Esports, under all this pressure, still get out of defense. And by the end of this game, they were the ones in control. Game 2. The series continues. Reminder that the team that wins this goes to that Grand Finals. It will be a best of 7, but the winner of this match will have a 1-game advantage. And not only just a 1-game advantage, but a 1-game advantage. And again, only needing to win a couple games to win that whole thing. The confidence that Kanade have, they've got to keep things going, but they did leave the net wide open for VDL. Haku just went for boost. This is... I don't know why he thought the boost was the right option there. I mean, VDL has boost here. It's a bad decision for Haku. Maybe the first bad decision he's made tonight. He's been pretty consistent so far, but that's when he'll want back, because that's when he actually could have gone for. Instead, they'll have to come back from a goal down now, just like they did last game. And again, that pressure from To Be Determined was pretty great. Yui Kanade are going to have a lot to do here to really keep out their opponents in To Be Determined. As Haku. Doshi. Challenged by Little Godwolf. Doshi still has it. As he'll keep the play going. Blade Exotic. Haku. Slushy will take this one. Now a chip to the back wall. Blade Exotic will be there. And again, here's the offense from To Be Determined. We've already seen that this team's got some pretty incredible chemistry. But their accuracy was not their friend last game. That's really what hurt them there. Only 1 goal with all the offensive pressure they had just isn't going to be enough to beat teams like Yui Kanade. They're going to need more. They're going to need better, because Kanade's not going to stop. They're going to keep scoring. It's a guarantee at this point. As Haku, making up for his earlier mistake, will split the defense on this one between Slushy and V-Deal. And Kanade's back in it. I mean, not only are these teams playing for that spot in the grand finals, the loser will have to go to the lower finals. Play against a team who will win from our lower semifinals, and is being played right now as little Godwolf. Around the corner, we'll still have this one as played exotic. Haku by V-Deal, still Haku, can't beat Slushy. As Dolce maybe hit this the wrong direction here, will create a bit of havoc here for his own teammates as he ran into a couple of them. But this play will stay for Kanade as little Godwolf clears it back. Haku, an airborne touch will be for Blade Exotic. V-Deal will take this as Dolce doesn't win that challenge. Haku runs back. V-Deal with boost, with a shot, with the second goal. I mean, you can't stop this guy when he's got open room. It was a botched offensive attempt for Kanade, and again Haku went for boost. And for a second time this game, he's got going for the shiny stuff rather than the ball. The lead stays for to be determined now. And for Haku again, who has been almost entirely consistent this series, and really tonight so far, with some rather embarrassing mistakes at a bad time here. Ooh, we got a little bit of headlock. These players are going to hold this one as well. The question is who can win on the 2v2 with all this room. We'll see if those players keep that headlock. For now, Blade Exotic and Dolce will take on Slushy and little Godwolf. Slushy up the ceiling. With a quick shot, Blade Exotic will be waiting for it. A lot more room as Blade Exotic. He's gonna bump out his teammate here. He wants to go back to 3v3 action. Not trusting his team in the 2v2 game mode, and maybe for a good reason, because Haku's already trying to get things started. As Dolce, Haku to the corner. Clear back as Blade Exotic. This one's flying high. But V-Deal with a lot of boost will get that final block. As Dolce going again. Ooh, that nearly went in off of V-Deal's final touch. But it will stay away as another chance in front. Slushy's got to be careful here. But he'll win that challenge against Haku. This ball is cleared all the way back to the orange half of the field. Dolce. Slushy! Oh, that should have been free. A giveaway in front of the goal. And to be determined, recognize it immediately. That was beautiful! Just like that pass. And that is... well, that's just how you make things happen, as Dolce actually didn't even see that player on the back wall left, so the play went to the back corner to get a little bit of extra boost. Again, clearly didn't see that there was someone on the back wall. By the time he did, it was already far too late. A lead now, a massive lead for To Be Determined. They're actually hitting their shots this game, unlike last game. They just could not score that often. This game, they are with ease, as V-Deal has a hat-trick here. And To Be Determined, this was the worry that I had for UE Kanade after game one, is that To Be Determined felt like they were holding back their shots last game. Now it really feels like they aren't. And because they aren't, it's a way tougher match now. Slushy looking for another here, just to really demoralize UE Kanade. As V-Deal. Haku. Around Slushy, but not able to put it through Slushy, and well, that's what the net is inside the final minute at this point. Just trying to find some goals, trying to find some momentum for themselves, as Haku really reached for that shot, could not get it. Now will, as it's gonna go bouncing up. Slushy has it, Dolce can't get there in time. And for UE Kanade, already looks like they've given up on this game. And with the very important third game coming up in this series, for Kanade, maybe getting a bit too comfortable, because last game really wasn't that consistent from them. It was not easy. To Be Determined won on possession. And as you can tell, if they're winning on possession, they're going to look for V-Deal, and V-Deal doesn't seem to miss. Kanade's role next game is going to be stopping those shooting opportunities. Because simply put, For To Be Determined, they're winning too much of the midfield. And if you win that midfield as heavily as they do, shots are going to follow through. So a tied series now. An important third game up next to determine match point in the winners' finals. UE, Kanade, and To Be Determined, really proving they are clearly the top teams in this division. But for UE Kanade, only 4 shots this game. That's the same number of shots that Slushy had by himself. So, simply they're not winning the offense. They're not winning that midfield, not winning the possession. And if you can't win on possession, you're going to have a very tough time winning games. And for Kanade, they need to win that midfield. That's how they won that first series tonight against Soulless Path. Earlier, Soulless Path Undone. UE Kanade are going to need a lot more to work with, a lot more chances to score. And it looks like they're taking the whole entire minute here. Blade Exotic has not readied up yet, so the whole entire minute they were taken by UE Kanade. The first time tonight they've really done that. And done it, I think, in a way intentionally, just to slow things down, to try to calm themselves in any way possible. That means now, moving into Game 3, Kanade and To Be Determined are, well, now looking for match point. And an important one as well, you do not want to take the series all the way to Game 5 if you don't have to, but the pressure's on, they've got to perform here. For Kanade, not enough shots last game. They're going to look for early offense here, an early lead, anything to slow down To Be Determined, really to slow down VDO. And he has been playing at MVP level so far tonight, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. As Blade Exotic, Slushy, back into play. Will be for Haku as Doshi, ooh, doesn't actually read this one. Still going as Doshi. Blade Exotic jumps in, will win that challenge off the back wall. Maybe another chance, he'll go quick! V-Deal is waiting on it though. And that's a scary thing to say for sure, because he has blocked absolutely everything so far. But he'll have to get back quickly here, because here goes Blade Exotic. Little Godwolf up first to Slushy. Little Godwolf will win the play. Haku's gonna get up. He'll get the challenge. A lot more pace now for both these teams, but that's really working against this Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports side. A lot more panicky, a lot more rushed, a lot more double commits as well. That rotation could very easily fall apart here if this pace continues. That's a double commit here. V-Deal out of the play. Now in goes Doshi. Will leave it for Blade Exotic. And Doshi there should have gone for that bump play. Tried to go for a second touch instead. But he honestly had the bump in front of him. If he went for that, you think that could be goal 1. Has another chance. Same thing done. And the same result here. V-Deal on the block. As he'll go 1-on-1 with Haku. That's a good touch though. Will be for his teammates. And that's a great play out here. Kanade's had a couple of those amazing passing options down the field. And they've really worked to utilize those passes. Oftentimes in a game like this, the ball moves way faster than the players do. As what happened back here? That is a complete giveaway from UE Kanade. Misses in the corner. And wow, that is just poor from Kanade. Doshi and Haku both commit on that challenge, and both of them miss it. For a team like Kanade, who's been playing as well as they have, those are the kind of mistakes you cannot afford to make in a bracket like this. And they're making them, and it is costing them very important goals and very important games. As To Be Determined will challenge again. Blade Exotic, though, clears it back. Kanade not able to put this one in. That net is not open. And they'll wait back as Doshi does beat V-Deal. Haku will leave it in the midfield. That's beautiful, but even better from Little Godwolf to just get up in time and get that ball away from the danger. As Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports really looking desperate for anything. Haku trying to find some good news for Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports. They didn't have much of any in the last game, and this game has not exactly started off the way they want it to. Haku again across, but Doshi can't go, and it will be another clear away from To Be Determined, just erasing all the work That's UE had earlier. Slushy, the shot saved away. Man, there's nobody back to help Blade Exotic. Having to do all that work by himself. Haku and Dulcie were both nowhere to be found. And that could have been really bad. Had to be determined to put on just a bit of a better effort. But they'll have to be forced again here as Haku makes that block. Multiple saves made by Kanade. Even more, though, having to be made by To Be Determined. In fact, they have 7 saves this game on all 7 shots. Now make that 8 on 8. I mean, that defense has been amazing so far as we deal with 4. Slushy has 3. And To Be Determined holding on to that one goal lead, but they missed it! It's wide open for Haku! Oh, it's one mistake that does it! Oh, and it's just terrible timing too, little Godwolf. I mean, he looked so comfortable going to the back wall there. I'm almost certain he was, but that's gonna hurt. Not even a really strong shot either. Just a simple mistake off the back wall. And Kanade were waiting for that. Now they go again, off the back wall once more. VDL will read this one. Blade Exotic will leave things back for Doshi! Oh my! Top left banger! And Kanade, 2 straight! Well, what was looking like going to be another game of disappointment, they have turned it up quick. And Kanade now take the lead inside the final minutes. Maybe an answer is coming, but it will be VDL to get things started. He's got to win this against Blade Exotic. Little Godwolf jumps in, not in time. It's a bump in front. Doshi can't score here. And little Godwolf will keep it away. Blade Exotic. VDL challenged by Haku. Doshi will race up. It's Haku first. Will be up the corner. Doshi again to the midfield. VDL without any boost. Can't make much of a touch. Blade Exotic will go to goal. But saved away again. VDL. Trying to find any way through, but my goodness, that's a great challenge from Haku. Doshi to win this. Could not secure it there. And maybe still hope left here for To Be Determined. As VDL. Challenged by Doshi. Nobody else there to help. Haku. Doshi. Little Godwolf will save, but this actually kept up. Haku didn't hit it to the floor. And little Godwolf will keep it in the air. VDL. Oh, he got bumped away by his own teammate. Slushy removed that chance. And it is going to be UE Kanade with game 3. 2 goals in a row. And that last chance, VDL, that's the guy you want on those shots. That's going to hurt for Slushy, especially knowing that VDL had that chance. But that means for UE Kanade, 1 game away from advancing to the Grand Finals. As we're going to update NES, Censored Plus in the lower finals, so we'll be playing against the loser of this series in the next matchup. So NES winning actually by a sweep. As we'll get things sorted out here. And yeah, my goodness, what a... We're going to quickly get some sorted out here. We seem to have a technical issue with the match rotation. So we'll get a quick lobby reset, I think, here. Hopefully, for this next game. Yeah, we'll get things sorted out. We'll get things fixed up while we get the lobby remade. But again, 2-1 up here for UE Kanade. This team has had to face the lights. Has had to face the pressure here, but in Season 0, coming as that #1 seed, man, they are really proving why they're the #1 overall team here tonight. Because, man, it is tough to stop this team. That's for sure. Once they get things going, they just have such good offense. Something's going to go in. It feels like a team that you can't deny the ability to score. So as we get Game 4 set up here, Yukio Esports Kanade, a chance to go to that Grand Finals and to send To Be Determined to low bracket to take on NES Censored Plus. But to be determined now. They got to win 2 games straight. Not an impossibility, honestly. They've looked pretty good. But it really comes down to scoring the chances they do have. Right now, right now in the series, it really feels like it's all about accuracy. Every game that To Be Determined has lost, it's been because their offensive accuracy has not been there. And the game that they did win, well, they scored 4 goals in, 3 or 4 goals in, so VDL had a hat-trick. They looked great. They just need to have that accuracy again, and maybe, just maybe, the series can come back to them here. For now, though, it's Game 4. And Yui Kanade just need to win this, and they'll be off to the Grand Finals. A chance to win in the whole thing for Season 0. As VDL, the back wall. Late Exotic clears things back. It's a long touch. Slushy doesn't have this one. Oh, he just gets enough on it, but it's Haku again. Oh, what a touch for VDL. And some demos from Little Godwolf just making so much space here. Slushy's got room, and he's got options. Fake to the back wall. VDL kept out by Haku on low boost too. And this is very awkward as Slushy's gonna win this one. Doshi can't get this. Little Godwolf will be kept out by Blade Exotic. And that was awkward for Yui Kanade. Very much pushed back, kind of stuck behind each other. They were not in a great spot there. They'll be very happy to just get away with that one, as now Haku with a chance to score. Saved away. Doshi, the follow, also kept out. It's going to take more than that to beat VDL, that's for sure. He has been the saves leader tonight. And that is almost certainly going to continue. As Yui Kanade continue to just look for opportunities. That one kept away. Blade Exotic. Slushy. Doshi will call for this to go, though, as Haku will be on the recovery. And he'll see that this one gets away. Off the back. Haku will get there first, but does not win that challenge. It is Slushy. Blade Exotic. Doshi. Once again, Kanade quickly back up to offense. And now they're taking boost as well. VDL doesn't have a lot to work with. Can't go. Little Godwolf can. This will go all the way out to Blade Exotic. That is straight to VDL, though. And he doesn't have a lot to work with. The fake play. Doshi to Blade Exotic. And again to safety. As Kanade can rest a little bit easier here. Or maybe not. Because here goes Little Godwolf. Blade Exotic doesn't have this one. Godwolf to the net. Oh, it's kept out. Haku on the goal line. Slushy the follow. VDL waits. Little Godwolf can't put it in. And I thought surely that would be goal 1 for To Be Determined. How Haku got back to that, I do not know. That was halfway across the goal line. But still kept away. Man, they are panicking right now here. But Kanade, they get away with it. As Haku can't win there. Blade Exotic, 1-on-2. What a stop for VDL. As Doshi, Little Godwolf keeps it out. Blade Exotic will go. Yui Kanade continuing to push for something. As Doshi, that's not what he was looking for. VDL to Haku, it is to the nets, but capped out again. Yui with 7 shots this game compared to the 3 of To Be Determined. 6 saves have been made already on the side of TBD, and yet they still are stuck, still are defending, and eventually they will fall apart. After 7 saves, something was gonna break, and it will here. Haku will leave things open for Blade Exotic. And Kanade finding ways to just break down To Be Determined. It may be the long road, but it's a long road that is working. And To Be Determined now need to score late in this game. They gotta take chances as VDL trying to get his team fired up on offense. And Godwolf will pave the way. At this point, when you're under this kind of pressure, when you're facing the deficit that this To Be Determined team is, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to find yourself down by 2. But this is where leaders really do emerge. VDL has been that leader tonight. Can he find a little bit more for his roster? He's been there on defense, but on offense, he has been absent here in Game 4. And Yukio Esports looking to make things even more one-sided. Exotic kept out by Slushy. Jumping in is Haku as That will be kept to the side. Blade Exotic first to it. Just a game of keep away now for UE Kanade. They don't need to score anymore. They just need to make sure that to be determined don't score. As VDL cleared away again. Slushy. Not only does he have to get this ball back, he's got to waste time. And he's not going to do very well on that either. It's open in front. Oh, what a huge bump. Will be kept away. VDL one-on-one. Doshi gets there in time. Still in the midfield. Haku pre-jumps that one. And it will stay away from the nets as Doshi will slow this one down. Even under that kind of pressure, Kanade still get away with it. Calm under pressure at times. Making smart touches, more importantly. And to be determined may be meeting their match here. They beat them a few weeks ago in a Game 5, but here in Game 4 in the winners finals, where they spot the grand finals up for grabs, UE Kanade are taking control. Blade Exotic will keep it away, and this series is over. Yukio Esports Kanade are off to the grand finals. They beat To Be Determined, the one team that beat them in the regular season, and that means their run will now have one more match. They're in the grand finals with a game advantage. For To Be Determined, their run's going to take a little bit longer now. They've got to go to the lower bracket to take on NES Censored Plus, a very tough matchup, but a matchup they've actually played already and won via sweep. You feel like it's a likely chance that we're going to be seeing these two teams compete against each other again in the grand finals. For now, though, that is the winners finals here in our Season 0 Masters Division Championship. Again, brought to you guys by our good sponsors at Future Form Design Labs. If you want your design needs met, of course, make sure you go to Future Form. So, for now, the grand finals has one team in it. Still a couple more, still one more to decide. Again, it will be decided here in the lower finals with To Be Determined versus NES Censored Plus. NES, by the way, representing Nebula Esports. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back. One more best of 5 to determine who will be joining UE Kanade in that grand finals. For now, we'll go to a break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back. We are now in the top 3 of the Serenyx League Season 0 Masters Division Finals here. I maybe didn't mention this super clearly here, but we did just have UE Kanade winning that and go to the Grand Finals. On the low side, though, it was NES Censored Plus who swept SP Undone. So Censored Plus now will be on the stream to take on to be determined here in the lower finals. This is for elimination and for a spot in that Grand Finals. At this point, you can't get that game advantage anymore, but still a top 2 spot could be there. And we've seen teams win from the lower bracket as well, so we'll see how these teams perform. For now, this match just about ready to get things going, get things started here. So let's get these teams in here. It will be quite the match as well here as we'll get things sorted out and we'll get these players in. But reminder again that these teams did play each other earlier, and it did end in a 3-0 sweep in that winners semifinal. So they play again here in the lower finals. A spot in the Grand Finals awaits here as NES will be on the blue, and to be determined will take to the orange here. So to be determined, the 2nd seed, NES Censored Plus the 3rd seed. So far the seeding itself is actually gone, and the match has actually gone exactly as expected. We'll see though if Censored Plus can create an upset here and give themselves a chance and take on UE Kanade in that Grand Finals, or if it will be a rematch of our winners finals after all. As we've seen already, Slushy, VDL, and Little Godwolf have some pretty good chemistry, but Teardrop, Ablex, and Havoc Mechs are going to need to do well to keep up with them. So far as we've seen, To Be Determined have had quite an impressive offensive arsenal, and I mean, simply put, that was only matched by the amazing offense that we saw from UE Kanade there. So it's going to be very tough to keep up with them, very tough to match them, and as you saw, NES, or as you heard, NES didn't really do that in their first match today, so they gotta do well here as Teardrop, Ablex, up the back wall, Little Godwolf will actually not get this one away, and Ablex gonna score it there. That was a good opportunity, but it will go wide as VDL will pinch this one out, so to be determined. Just waiting. It really feels like, I mean, considering that they just came off a loss, I'm sure they're not in exactly the best mindset after all, so I think more importantly for this first game, it's really going to be, can NES Censored Plus get anything here against To Be Determined before To Be Determined starts to ramp things back up, or does To Be Determined, even after they've lost the series, still have what it takes to really be the better team compared to NES here. NES, by the way, representing Nebula Esports. As VDO, Teardrop, now in his Slushy, still not really doing much to break for that net. Both these teams just, again, playing a very passive, very hesitant style, waiting a lot more. Nobody wants to be the one that make the mistake, and I think more of it comes down to the fact that it's elimination on the line. If you lose this series, your run is over. So both these teams, they want to spawn a top 2. They want to spawn the Grand Finals. Only one team will get that chance, and Slushy try to make that team be To Be Determined. As that's a great shot right over Ablex. Determined, after a long amount of waiting, will take that first goal. That shooting accuracy on the for them has not exactly been was not exactly their strong suit against UE Kanade, but considering the NES haven't even really gotten offense to begin with, I don't think they'll mind waiting to take their chances, because if they just wait long enough, they'll appear, they'll score at least a couple of them, even if their accuracy isn't the strongest there. Unlike Kanade, who really did try to play a much more aggressive and really enforce that kind of play style, NES Censored Plus is definitely waiting back a lot more. They're staying back a bit more, they're playing more defensive, they're waiting a lot more. Definitely feels like it's not going to work to them here, because they don't have offense to really work with. As VDL's whiffed on this one, it's a chance for Havoc Mechs. Ablex now. VDL will keep it out. And it will be Little Godwolf to send it away to the back wall. VDL can't win this one as Slushy, once again, will keep it. Now on the challenge is Slushy. Past a couple is Slushy. Off the corner, trying to get the bump on Ablex. Will not get very far with that one before it is sent back into play. Still no goals for NES here, and they're trying. They're putting on more shots. They're definitely finding a little bit more room upfield that they still have not scored. Although, again, it's not for a lack of trying. It, again, to be determined, getting pushed a lot in the backfield, and they've only scored once this game. They really have not made this lead easy for themselves. Feels very eerily similar to how they played against UE Kanade, and Kanade, as you said, just needed a few good chances to take these games. The same can very much be said about NES Censored Plus. So far, they have not scored yet as VDL to the back wall. That rolls straight down. 2 go for Nebula Esports, but it will be kept out initially here. Still playing the defensive though, is up the back wall. Little Godwolf, that's saved away by Ablex. As VDL just keeping in the offense, keeping in the pressure. NES Censored Plus though can go the other way. And what a massive clear for little Godwolf. Just wasting all that time for Nebula Esports, all that possession. They've got to restart from their own backfield, and even that's going to be tough, because clearly, to be determined, it's not exactly letting them get out of their own half to begin with. As Slushy, another challenge won. Ablex will wait, but it's Havoc Max will take it. VDL. Oh, Teardrop doesn't have this. Ablex got to get up fast, and he will, just in time. But they don't have boost here. NES Censored Plus have not won the challenges. VDL, for one more play, will be cleared back. Slushy, he's going to let this one hit the floor. Little Godwolf with another heavy touch. Teardrop. Ablex cannot get it out. And 1-0 the scoreline. To be determined is one step closer to the grand finals. One game closer as well. There was a lot more waiting than maybe they wanted. But again, that chemistry is quite impressive. And my goodness, 1-0. It is to be determined who themselves want that rematch in the grand finals. And it feels like they're destined to do so. They already beat this team earlier. Again, they're just looking to do it all over again. Game 2 now. And you really feel like if you're to be determined, you want this match to end quickly. You don't want to be here for too long, because it's already been a decently long night for all these players. You definitely don't want to play more than you have to. Get tired, because UE Kanade, they're waiting. They're going to be fresh coming into that next series. To be determined. If they can make this fast, they can come into it with less fatigue. And who knows, that might be the difference maker to get them to a better start in the grand finals. And maybe give them a chance to get one over on UE Kanade in the championship. For now, though, they're only thinking about this series only, and just getting through NES first. And 12 seconds in the game, too. They're already off to a good start as Teardrop and Ablex both went to the same corner, leaving that net wide open on the other side. And it is to be determined again. One goal in their favor is Havoc Mex. Cleared back by VDL. Slushy also up. Won't be able to get to that challenge in time. Little Godwolf will go. Oh my goodness, what a touch! Oh, what a play! Little Godwolf has ascended! And to be determined, a second goal, but this... Oh, what a touch! Elite play! And to be determined... may just have done what they needed to do here. And there is not much stopping that one. To be determined, another one. That also saved away VDL on the shot. Now Slushy. That one's cleared completely across the field. That's little Godwolf. Sends it away, Ablex. Slushy. Oh, he doesn't have this one! But little Godwolf will be there for it. No shot came. And NES Censored Plus still trying to play that offense, but still struggling to just get good shots. Because every time they go upfield, it feels like to be determined have 2 or 3 players on every single challenge. It really isn't that way, but they're playing as if they are. And my goodness, this is just overwhelming NES. A third now. To be determined, the first of the game for Slushy. And to be determined, in the span of less than 90 seconds, have already scored 3. Oh dear, oh no! Well, that's gonna be a goal back for Nebula Esports Censored Plus. Maybe not the way they were expecting to get that goal, but they'll take it as it bounces off a VDL, and it goes in. Definitely not the ideal in that play, but gotta love a goal when you can get them if you're Censored Plus. I mean, this series has had about as bad of a start you could ask for in Game 1. So about as bad as a Game 1 you could have, about as bad as a Game 2 you could have as well. It just feels like they need something to go in. Even if it comes down to the silly goals like that, something to make you feel like you have a chance to come back into this game. It's Havoc Mix. Can't get very close to the net here as Little God Wolf will push upfield. VDO. He's got open room here. Havoc Mix will push for it. But there's a great chance they could score. Oh, Slushy's missed it though. Little God Wolf has to slow down, and that means NES will be all the way back, ready for the challenge as Teardrop. VDL sends it back, whiffed on by Havoc Mix. Slushy to go to goal. And will force Teardrop to make the block, as they'll just wait. Little Godwolf to the corner. VDL saved by Teardrop. Now Little Godwolf again. Oh, he doesn't actually have this touch. Slushy will jump in off the ceiling. Slushy, he's all alone, so he'll need to wait some time as VDL. Now he jumps in. It's the reinforcements for To Be Determined. Trying to make the difference here as Little Godwolf. A VDL races to it again. Takes out Teardrop. Slushy back in the play. Going for the goal! And man, Slushy has just not... He is unreal tonight. This is an incredible goal. Off the corner, reads it perfectly. Beats Ablex. Goes to goal 4-1. To Be Determined. After what was looking like a very weak Game 1 performance. I said it, they just need a little bit of time to warm up. And now that they have, you can really see what they're doing here to this Nebula Esports side. NES is just getting beat everywhere right now on their own half of the field. And To Be Determined. Again, they just want this match to end quickly, to go to the grand finals. V-Deal, another one. Man, this is an absolute wiping. V-Deal with a Doomsday Edition front. And To Be Determined. Not letting Nebula Esports have anything. Two minutes left, but To Be Determined, my goodness, are just looking incredible. As VDL to make it 6. That will be kept off the line by Teardrop. Havoc Mix can't win the challenge. Slushy to Little Godwolf. It is in front of the goal, but Havoc Mix will get back to it in time. Still feels like that 6th goal is moments away at any point here for To Be Determined, but yeah, Censored Plus will at least delay this next goal if it does happen, as it will go in the midfield. Ablex. Oh, it's a bit of a strange first touch. Didn't really go as where he wanted to. And To Be Determined will chase after this as VDL. Havoc Mix. Little Godwolf will chase this one down. Ablex still on it. And it will be Slushy. Teardrop. VDL. Havoc Mix gonna have a very tough time, and he'll be taken away. VDL again, challenged by Ablex. Little Godwolf, one touch, not past Havoc Mix. Slushy can't get through Teardrop. As VDL, Ablex, so it's left in front of the nets, but Havoc Mix is there. For that Censored Plus, just trying to prevent any more goals from going in. That will be saved away by Teardrop, nearly a 6th this game for To Be Determined. Again, I think for NES Censored Plus, they just want to have this game end, go to Game 3 with a fresh mindset. And this game is about as bad as has gotten about as bad as it can be for them at this beginning, and just have not been able to recover. It's Havoc Mix. Slushy. Ablex trying to find anything late in this game, but that shot will go nowhere. And this game will end in favor of To Be Determined. They swept NES Censored Plus earlier. They're en route to do it again in the lower finals. With Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports Kanade waiting in the grand finals. To be determined, and Kanade really looked like the clear top two teams here. And, well, tonight just might show that there is nothing stopping these teams. One game now for to be determined. One game, all they need. One win, all they need to go to the grand finals. And for NES, well, they're going to need a reverse sweep. And a very tough one at that. They just have not seemed to get themselves into this game. Only one goal in the last two games. And I mean, they got swept earlier. It feels like it's going to happen all over again here. Unless something incredible happens. To be determined. Just needs to win one more. And they'll be in the grand finals for Nebula Esports. Censored Plus. Their season on the line now. Top 3 will not be good enough for them. But to be determined looking to make it where it will be where they stand. This is game 3. And to be determined could sweep this one. As they'll win the first challenge. Ablex will keep this one away. As actually everybody pushed up really high there for TBD. But they'll see this one away. As now left in the midfield. Little Godwolf to the side wall. Slushy waits under it. As Havoc Mechs will be there. Teardrop. Still Teardrop. Oh, what a flip reset. Doesn't have the boost. Little Godwolf can't challenge. And Ablex will barrel in. The first lead of the series for NES Censored Plus. Maybe the start of a new beginning for them. And flip reset really threw to be determined for a loop. And this match is not over just yet. It's far from over. If Censored Plus have anything to say about it. To be determined. Now playing from behind. Teardrop. Ooh, he didn't get the touch there. Havoc Mechs. Oh, he's whipped it as well. It's open for Slushy, but he can't get the shot there. As little Godwolf will chip this one. That's a great play from Ablex. Reaches up for the ball and gets every bit of it. Buying NES precious time to really get things sorted. As little Godwolf wins that challenge. Havoc Mechs, though, will clear it upfield for NES. Slushy. Another strong touch for to be determined. Will go straight to the opposition. And Teardrop's going to try to force his way through everyone. As little Godwolf will race upfield. Now goes again. And around the corner it goes. VDL challenges. Little Godwolf will wait as Ablex. Little Godwolf, oh, he doesn't have this one. VDL. Havoc Mechs. Little Godwolf to Slushy. Ablex again. VDL. Oh, it's Jansen in front! NES weren't ready for this. It was a rush challenge from Slushy. Teardrop went to the back wall, was expecting a higher play. But it did not expect the... Actually, the last thing he expected was the shot to go right at him. And it's tied. To be determined. Trying to put multiple goals on now. As VDL. Oh my. Right off the kickoff. And a second. For to be determined. All that Nebula Esports Censored Plus has done has been thrown out the window. And as to be determined takes the lead. Now really knowing this to be determined team, it's going to be very tough to take this lead back, but Censored Plus, they have to win this game or else their season's over. Slushy keeps it high. Havoc Mechs can't get to it. And little Godwolf will miss this as well. VDL up the side wall. And for to be determined, we've seen them play defensive before on a 1-goal lead. Will they do that again with still half the game to go? I don't like it when they do that because it gives Censored Plus chances, but they've really relied on it a couple times tonight, and Their defense has been solid. As they're gonna get another one! Well, they won't have to worry too much about defense here. Slushy will just do it himself. As he gets right by Ablex and against Teardrop. He knows Teardrop is waiting for the back corner. That's a great fake. And now a multi-goal lead for To Be Determined. And again I ask, do they play defensive? Do they sit back? Do they try to see if they can wait out the rest of this game? Or do they go for more? Well, I almost thought for a second Ablex was going to have that one. Havoc Mechs now. Ideal won't get to it. As Ablex, little God Wolf, will challenge Havoc Mechs. Slushy waits as VDL again needs to go. Nope, full boost for VDL. He'll wait on the back wall, but it's an infield play. Everybody jumped in. Havoc Mechs can't go. And a couple bumps will open things up. Slushy's got no boost. That could have been a lot worse. But VDL will keep it out. And now he'll go for one. The dunk on Ablex won't be had. And again, To Be Determined. Just trying to waste out time. VDL. Above his goal, but in his control. And Havoc Mechs can't wrestle this one back. Little God Wolf. Reset. We'll use it. That's going to make things a little awkward for Teardrop as Havoc Mechs again. Gonna go quick. He's got an option in the midfield, but couldn't take it. And time running out here for NES Censored Plus. Their season, everything they've done up to this point. On the line now is Havoc Mechs. This one saved away. VDL. It will be sent to the back wall. And up goes little God Wolf. Teardrop. Havoc Mechs. Censored Plus, 2 goals down. Something's gonna go for them. Something's gonna break. But it just feels like nothing will go through that To Be Determined backline. As Slushy. Oh my! Well, that is just, oh my goodness. I have no words for what that was. At this point, To Be Determined just scoring whatever they want to. 25 seconds to go. And that may have just silenced NES Censored Plus for the last time. Because that was something else. As a clear up field, Censored Plus, do they have anything left in the tank? Ablex in front of the goal, but not past little Godwolf. VDL will have a tough time reading this, but he will get there in time. And it will be a 3-0 sweep. To Be Determined will advance to the grand finals through the lower brackets. Only giving up 2 games in that series to NES. And that means for NES, their season is over. To Be Determined will get to take a rematch against UE Kanade in the grand finals in our best of 7. So they've done what they need to do. 3 games, a sweep, and I'm sure a very feel-good match for them. As I'm sure again they'll just be happy to see this series reach its conclusion, as we're going to be going to a break here to set things up. Reminder that in our best of 7, UE Kanade have a 1-game advantage. So they're going to start actually in game 2 with UE Kanade 1-0 up. They don't need to just win 3 more to be determined. They've got to win 4 games. It's going to be a tough run, but they've given themselves the chance. That's all they need. Now they've got to make it work. We're going to go to break. We'll be back with the grand finals of the Masters Division.
last breath. We go higher. We catching fire. Let's do it there, let's do it there. This is my last breath.
Rise it up like an endless crescendo. 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 Rise it up, 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 rise it up like a
No freedom, mislead them. Ride with it, we don't need them. Gonna make nobody left to be there. Nobody taking this is my last breath. Yeah, we get near. There's a virus coming to eat ya. Gonna make nobody left to be there. Nobody taking this is my last breath. We go higher, we catching fire. Left to be dead, left to be dead. This is my last breath. We go higher, we catching fire. Left to be dead, left to be dead. This is my last breath.
rise it up like an endless crescendo. 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 Rise it up, 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 rise it up like a
This is it. 2 teams remain. The Grand Finals is here in the Serenyx League Season 0 Masters Division Finals. I'm SweatyFC, and you've joined us for one last match. Again, thank you to our sponsors in Future Form Design Labs here. This is the Masters Division Championship. And before we get into this championship, I do remind you all that on the Champions Division Grand Finals is happening as well. That is on Zodex's stream on Twitch. XO7ICZ on Twitch. Go show him support, because he's got the other Grand Finals going on with NES Censored taking on SP Reckless in a best of 7. This will also be a best of 7 with Yukio or UE Kanade with a 1-game advantage. They'll be taking on 2B Determined. The winner of this series will win the Masters Division in Season 0. Tomorrow will be our Elite Division. The best of the best compete in an 8-team double elimination format tomorrow. So join us tomorrow starting at 7 Eastern for all of that glorious action. But for now, let's get into this series, and let's get into this matchup. UE Kanade takes on To Be Determined. Kanade on the blue, beat To Be Determined on the... Sorry, Kanade on the orange, To Be Determined on the blue once again. And a best of 7 now. Kanade have already taken game 1. We'll get the fix on the overlay shortly here, but they've already taken game 1 in the series by default. To Be Determined will have to win 4 games, whereas Kanade will only need to win 3 of their next 6. So, Kanade, in a good spot to be successful. They've already beat this To Be Determined team once earlier in the bracket of the winners' finals. They've now got to beat them here in the grand finals as we'll try to get things started. As Blade Exotic, challenged by V-Deal. Doshi. The God Wolf will have this one away as jumping in is Haku. The real question now is for, Kanade now in the grand finals. Who steps up for them when they need it? Who's really going to lead either of these rosters in this grand finals? It feels like anybody on this field could do it. Everybody has had their moments of brilliance. But someone's got to be there here when everything is on the line, when you need to play at your best. The championship awaits only for those who can take it. And for both these teams, they've got a great array of players. But again, only the best will be champions as VDL trying to get things started. Haku, Blade Exotic, jumped up in the air but won't get to the play in time. Doshi can't get there! And it will find the net! Little Godwolf will take the first goal. And for to be determined. That's a start that they were looking for. Coming from that lower bracket. Again, now a game down. They need to answer back and answer to that loss they had earlier. As Blade Exotic to the back wall. Haku trying to answer, but VDL's waiting. Now Doshi to Blade Exotic! Oh, what a play! In the back of the net! UE Kanade have found brilliance again on the passes. Beautiful, just beautiful. And Kanade, with a goal of their own, these teams are ready. And boy, what a grand finals we'll have tonight. As Blade Exotic, another one! 2 for Blade Exotic. UE Kanade take the lead. And for Blade Exotic, some beautiful shooting. And man, what a showing so far. Little Godwolf, VDL. Blade Exotic will try to challenge this one, but Yui Kanade keep it away. Slushy kept back by Doshi as VDL will jump in on this one. Little Godwolf. Doshi is there. Haku to the corner. Blade Exotic. And Haku again. Kanade in this, what is, again, I guess technically game 2. I mean, I'm impressed with the amount of momentum that they're bringing into this one because they've been waiting. I mean, it wasn't a long wait, admittedly. They didn't have to wait very long for to be determined to reestablish themselves as a top-tier team. But, man, I'm impressed nonetheless here, but they didn't challenge there. That's a free goal for Slushy every single time. And just left in the midfield, Slushy's not going to miss this one. And Yui Kanade know that they just didn't challenge at the right time. And they weren't really willing to challenge either, just sat at the nets and to be determined they're way too good to just let them have free shots. But Exotic will actually jump in for a chance here. Everybody committing in for to be determined. Doshi, maybe a chance to score. Will get by one. Stopped by Slushy as Haku in the air to the back wall. VDL makes that touch, but he's got to get some help. Will get some help by Little Godwolf. Blade Exotic tried to find a way through, but from that angle, he's not scoring. And they will go back to defense again here as Yui Kanade back on offense again. Haku. Doshi not going to score there as double commit. VDL rushed to that play and ran through Slushy to get there. Doshi doesn't have boost, needed Blade Exotic to make that touch. Now he needs Haku to push upfield. And he will. Now Doshi's chance to go. Stopped by Slushy as Blade Exotic tried to find the outlet pass. Will not get very far on that attempt. Doshi to Haku. Slushy is waiting. And great boost conservation. Still a lot of boost left for to be determined. But they won't get offense still. A minute to go. You really feel like that next goal could be the one to win it. As Haku might just try to put this one behind. VDL was waiting. But it will still be Yui Kanade attacking. Haku kept out by Little Godwolf. One good chance. You really feel like could be the one to do it. And again, the saves racking up here as in front of the net. Haku keeps it out. Doshi will not let the shot go as Blade Exotic went straight to little Godwolf, and Slushy could go for this. It's a back pass. Saved away as UE Kanade just suffocate any offensive chances that To Be Determined had. But still, no goals at the end of game 1 to determine who will win this one. As Dolshi clears it ahead, little Godwolf looking for one last chance. Vidil couldn't get there. And once again, just like every previous series we've seen UE Kanade in, game 1 has to go to overtime. So far, they're 2-0 in OTs, so this is a position where they have been favored. But again, technically it's game 2. And it is the grand finals, anything can happen. OT is a wild card situation, and it's a giveaway! Kanade really played into this one. To Be Determined. Little Gobble specifically egging on Dolshi to play midfield on that. And Dolshi went for it, and I mean, he knew immediately that's the last thing you should do, is let To Be Determined walk in and shoot. And this series is tied because of it. TBD takes game 2, so this series all even, and now we go to essentially a best of 5 matchup again. And for UE Kanade, they had such good momentum, it looked like at the start of this game, but simple mistakes, that's really what is what's going to cost these teams. Good plays, sure, but more importantly, we've seen mistakes really take damage, more damage, to these two players, to these two rosters when they played in that winners finals. And it feels like those mistakes are going to be causing issues once more. At the goal for Slushy. Man, TBD, maybe after that losers finals win, they are really fired up, because this is a lot better than their winners finals. Just more willing to push themselves in the plays that we didn't see them do earlier. And for UE Kanade, I mean, they got to wait a little bit. Maybe the pressure of the grand finals is getting to them. I mean, being such a rather relaxed-looking team at times, maybe they finally have it clicked in their head that they could win this whole thing. And so often we see teams where they're at that position where they can win the whole thing, just completely fall away from it. And it's a real thing, honestly. And you know what that does when you can't win, when you're so close to winning? It makes you make more mistakes. It makes you take more chances. It makes you do things that you shouldn't do. UE Kanade cannot fall into that trap. Or else this will be a grand finals that To Be Determined will be favored in. As Dolshi can't score here, will instead look midfield. Haku plays for goal as off the corner. This will stay in front of the net. Slushy is there. V-Deal. Dolshi can't read the bounce, but Blade Exotic will have that challenge. As Slushy taking it back will let little Godwolf take it, although he doesn't get very far before Dolshi goes in. Now a V-Deal. Blade Exotic. Another play for offense here as Exotic wants his chance. Will not be able to score on this one as Dolshi trying to catch V-Deal in the long clear. But it won't get very far. In fact, Kanade still winning on the offense, but without enough real good efforts on that net. Is only one shot for them so far this game. As little Godwolf, Slushy, trying to make it a 2-goal lead. Nearly had that one. But it will stay just wide as again towards goal. Haku! Oh, he doesn't have this one. Dolshi's just kept waiting there. And eventually he'll receive that pass as now it is a chance for To Be Determined to add more to their lead. Dolshi trying to force this one in. Blade Exotic can't go. 2-on-1. Little Godwolf with help from Slushy. Won't need it because that is in the net. To Be Determined have risen in this grand finals. A whole different team than they were earlier tonight. A much better team than they were earlier tonight. And in the grand finals, where you feel like they should be under the most pressure, To Be Determined are playing lights out. Slushy, another chance for a third goal. This will be kept away as Yui Kanade still nothing to speak of here in Game 3. Doshi to Haku. Little Godwolf keeps it out. Blade Exotic. And for Yui Kanade, again, just looking completely out of it right now. But you can't deny this team can score goals quickly. We've seen them look out of it before against To Be Determined, only to come back and score a couple goals in a row. But in the grand finals, again, we just have not seen that spark yet. Maybe this can get things started. Doshi has a wide open net. And Kanade will take whatever they can get here. Anything to start a comeback in Game 3. 2 minutes to go. And Yui Kanade now needs a second to add to that first. Blade Exotic. Bit too heavy on the touch there. Haku was in the right spot though. And he will keep pushing as he gets the bump. Doshi, reset. Ooh, to go. That is resting in front of the goal. Blade Exotic. Oh, he missed it. Now Doshi, it is on. Oh, it's saved away by Slushy. As Haku goes again. Off the back wall. Little Godwolf has this one. As Slushy missed it. V-Deal. Doshi. V-Deal goes again. Looking to add more to this lead as it will head to the back of the wall. Steal a possession of To Be Determined. With time running out here for UE! Oh, but they're going to take this one! Little Godwolf! I mean, this should have been well in his control. Oh my goodness, that is a complete giveaway. And it's mistakes, again, that are really dictating how this series will go. The pressure gets to these players at times. And it really does make you make some pretty tough mistakes to give up. Credit where credit's due. These teams are so good at scoring off those errors. It's one thing to make mistakes. It's another thing for the team that has the advantage to score off of making that mistake. And well, both these teams are done. It is Haku. Oh my goodness! Off the bar and in. Gave Slushy almost no chance on that one. That is a wickedly powerful touch. And as I said before, Kanade can look like they're out of it at times, but when they look like they're out of it, they can come back and just score a couple goals in a row. Really put To Be Determined out of it. And now that they have the lead, it looks like it could happen all over again, unless something else changes. V-Deal. He's been quiet this game, but maybe not quiet any longer. Was that saved by Slushy? I think Slushy got the last touch on that one. V-Deal would have had the goal there. Well, Slushy, I don't even know why he jumped at that, as here goes V-Deal again. Saved away by Blade Exotic. Now needs another good opportunity as Doshi keeps it out in the midfield. One away, Blade Exotic off the post. Little Godwolf. Slushy, oh, he didn't keep it up, and that will end Game 3. UE Kanade have now taken their second win of the series and are 2 away from being champions of the division. The grand finals. And it is really coming down to the wire, it seems. But for Kanade, they have these moments where they can just get goals, a couple goals in a row. And that really does seem to be enough here. I mean, it really does come down to if To Be Determined scores enough. Any game where they've had less than 3 goals, it really doesn't feel like they've had enough to beat this UE Kanade roster. And for UE Kanade, if they just get a couple goals, they really do seem to just do enough to keep To Be Determined back on defense long enough that To Be Determined can't score enough goals to answer. As we are going to call here a substitution made, so for To Be Determined, I remember hearing about this player earlier and how good he was, but it's Jesus Loves You that jumps in. So, I mean, one of their, I think, starters. No, he's not. He's one of their subs, and yet he's been here all night. They just now in the grand finals, though. This is a very interesting time to make a substitution. But they weren't happy about how Game 3 went. They weren't happy about how they played in that winners finals either. I'm certain. So they've now made a substitution. And that's going to make things very interesting now because, again, I've been hearing a little bit about this, about Jesus Loves You, and their ability as the sub of To Be Determined, but, I mean, this is a lot of pressure to be under here. Substituted in the grand finals against a team that just beat you earlier tonight. It's going to be, this is a position that, for Jesus Loves You, could be absolutely amazing if he can make things happen, but could be absolutely horrible if things don't turn around. Feels like more out of desperation than anything else here for To Be Determined, knowing this Yui Kanade roster has beaten them so far tonight. Hoping that this substitution can, rather than change their playstyle, just change how this team is feeling. Be enough of an adjustment that they can push up. And man, Kanade's made this mistake before. This ended their run in game. This ended game 2 for them. And Doshi, he's done the same thing again. He just leaves it in the midfield. And again, waiting is Slushy. Every time Kanade's gone to their back wall, To Be Determined has waited right in front of that net. And Kanade, they've done it again here. It's the second time this series it's gone against them. And both times, I mean, for Doshi, he has options that he doesn't need, where he doesn't have to go in front of his net like that. Simply put, he's just giving them a chance to shoot. And you don't want to do that to Be Determined. This is a team that you want to limit the shots of if you are UE, Kanade, and, well, giving up that first goal in such a preventable way. A surprise that Doshi would have made that same mistake again. Now they've got to come back from one down, but Doshi going to get things started. Haku to the back wall will get that bump on VDeal. As Doshi removed, played exotic towards the goal. Slushy's got the block. Doshi will call for this one as it is saved away. To Be Determined. Again, trying to slow things down here for Yui Kanade, especially now they're a goal up. As Slushy again. Late Exotic will be there at the front post, and now an infield pass. VDeal would have had a good shot there had Haku not challenged him at it when he did. And it will be Yui Kanade now, trying to go on the quick rush. 1, back to 2, back to 1. But it won't go any further than that. Using all their boost and not getting close enough to the net to really put a shot on. As Blade Exotic has time to Haku. That's all it did! He forced it over the defenders! Haku on Slushy. And Haku comes out on top. That is a monster challenge. And I thought there was no chance he was going to score from there. Even with how close he was. That is a play where the ball usually pops straight up. But he got enough around it. And it's a tie game. And the super sub that I mentioned tonight, subbing in for this team, Yui Kanade, because they don't have any other options tonight, has definitely been a difference maker at times. As they'll now need to race back, but it won't be fast enough. Slushy will say thank you very much. And Blade Exotic, he just panicked. Simply put, that's a panic. If he doesn't go for that, it's actually going to be a lot better for him in that position, because that ball is not going to his net, it's going to his back corner. If he waits and he plays control, he can take it to his back corner and go right back upfield for offense. To Be Determined didn't have a lot of boost to begin with. And had he just waited, they weren't going to challenge him either. He would have had a free clear and some offense to work with. Instead, To Be Determined in the lead once again. And again, it's just mistakes that are being countered expertly by To Be Determined. Small openings that's against many teams probably wouldn't be exploited, but the To Be Determined side is proven. They recognize how this Yui Kanade team wants to play. And they're seeing where Yui Kanade have fallen short. As Doshi to go as To Be Determined, trying for another goal, but it's sent to the other side of the field. Jesus Loves You needs the touch. Oh, and that's a great touch at that. All the way back. Doshi will have this. Already using a lot of boost. Doesn't get very far. Haku to the corner will just give his team some offense. But no challenges. And instead they'll wait back on defense. And will try to take their time before they do anything upfield. Doshi. Haku. Goal! Tie again! It's another infield pass! And for all the mistakes that Doshi has made this series, That pass is not one of them. That's perfect. Fakes out to be determined. Forced them to consider the solo efforts. But it's Haku all the way. And it is kept even. As UE can now fight for the lead. Around the corner. Slushy! Kept out by Doshi. V-Deal. Now his chance to go towards goal, but Haku the one on the front post. Doshi's got nothing. He'll take on Jesus Loves You. Blade Exotic! We backflipped! That should have been a goal for Slushy. No doubt about it. Blade Exotic missed his play. Now it's a play! V-Deal will drive it through! Miscommunication! But the pressure mounting for 2BD. They've gotten better since their winners finals. And Yui Kanade, I mean, they've been thinking about back those mistakes, but at the end of this game, they've been a lot more consistent. Unfortunately, when you're playing this close to your opponents in scoreline, it's not exactly going to be easy to take the lead. As there's a demo, it is in for Doshi. Half a minute left to go, but Yui Kanade will not go down silently. Another shot, another goal. Doshi's got one and an assist as well. It is all offense at this point as they'll look for the lead, for their first lead of the series, for the game still, for Yui Kanade. Blade Exotic. Doshi can't put it on as it will bounce off the corner. Demo on one. Slushy jumps in, but UE still have this infield pass. One out by Haku. Doshi to the corner. Maybe one last chance. Can't keep it up. And it's overtime. Our second of the series. Our fourth of the night. To be determined. Won the last one here in game 2. Off a simple mistake in front of the net. They might take it here as well. Off that dunk in the corner. But a couple saves will keep him out. And Yui Kanade will at least hold on for now. Blade Exotic. Doshi, the pressure is on, and so too really feels like the panic for all these teams. For Yui Kanade, championship point could be guaranteed on one more goal. For to be determined, a tie series once again. Everybody up. Blade Exotic wins that challenge, but it will go right back out to the midfield. Hakudo! It's wide open! The super sub strikes once more. Kanade is one game away. And game 5 up next. Now the situation for to be determined. They must win 3 straight to take the championship. Or else Yui Kanade will be the ones to lift the trophy. 1 game away, 1 win away for Yui Kanade. An overtime victory, courtesy of Haku. And now, can they do it? They're 1 match away to being at the top of the Masters Division. Game 5. Yui Kanade, their first game on championship points here against to be determined. Can it be their route to that first place finish? Slushy to go the other way, trying to get things started, and he will, because that's gonna go back to the net. And in for the sub of to be determined, and Jesus Loves You. TBD, making it very clear this series is not over, and they are not gonna go down without a major fight. And again, they've been playing a lot better this series than their last one. But still, they're down. And Blade Exotic! Oh, he hit the crossbar. Doshi will pop things high, but I think would have rather had a shot on that effort. Instead, it will go back to the orange half of the field. Doshi. Oh, he doesn't have a good touch here. He's left the ball in front of his own net a 3rd time now. This one will not go in, fortunately for him, as here goes Haku off the back. Doshi trying to push out V-Deal, but no shot taken. Yui Kanade will have to take the defensive side. As Blade Exotic. One out here, but it will be pinched back. V-Deal on the chase as Blade Exotic will try to take him down. Now he goes for a shot. Doshi's waiting. In the mid for Slushy. Boost and possession. Doshi off the back. Haku, he's lifted. It's a chance to score, but it is kept up by Doshi. From inside his own goal, went to the top of the net to cover any high option they had. And he'll be glad he did. That shot from Jesus Loves You was pretty high up in the air. Was going to sneak under the bar as well. A huge block for Doshi to keep his team in this one. Now in the midfield again. Jesus Loves You with a second. An errant touch for Kanade without thinking. Blade Exotic. And it's a second play where if he leaves it, better things are going to happen there. And for Blade Exotic, again, panicking in that midfield. He's trying so hard to win and keep offense that he's not thinking about the repercussions if he doesn't get the touch he's looking for. And that is huge, but a goal back. Or more rather, another goal for V-Deal. And man, this has completely gotten out of hand now. And this is, well, to say anything, gonna be pretty disappointing for them. As for Yui Kanade, again, their first chance on championship point, and it has started off poorly, but they have 3 minutes, and they only need 2 more goals now. Blade Exotic on a quick break, just had an extra burst of speed that came from that boost pad, and that was just enough to beat Slushy. It looks very awkward, but you don't really ask how they go in at this point. It's the championship. You just need goals where you can get them. As Doshi, oh, what a dribble. V-Deal will be making that first effort as Haku cleared away by Slushy. Doshi waiting back, and again, Blade Exotic trying to jump early there, but Doshi tells him to relax, and for good reason, he'll go upfield now, but finds nobody on the bump. Haku waited in net, did not trust that clear, and he'll make that first block. Now Blade Exotic. Haku to cut things off. Doshi again going for those bumps and again leaving his team out to dry here. It will be V-Deal off the post. Blade Exotic to keep things out. As Doshi to the corner. Oh, he could not get the bump there. Haku to the side. Cleared back away as V-Deal. Blade Exotic. Doshi won't have this one. To be determined, maybe leading by 2, but they know better than anyone else here. This is not a confident lead at all, considering that it's Yui Kanade they're playing against. Kanade have not really broken through yet. As V-Deal whiffed it! Oh, Doshi's gonna have this one! Oh man, a rare mistake for V-Deal. Off the back, he must have thought Doshi was gonna get there a lot faster, because he was playing for the block instead. He missed it though, and now one away. Yukio Esports Kanade. One away from could be another overtime. At least one away from giving themselves a chance at winning the championship here. Slushy back towards goal. Haku, ooh, he jumped in as well. V-Deal to the back. Doshi will be there as Haku doesn't have this one. Blade Exotic pushed up really high for that, could not make the save. And he'll be happy that he didn't have to, because he was out of position on that push. Now goes Haku. V-Deal into an awkward touch by Doshi. Blade Exotic. A heavy first touch will be a giveaway to the players of To Be Determined. As V-Deal in front. Oh, he missed it! Doshi missed! Oh, and his team was on such good pace too. And Doshi knows that's what he should be getting. And Yui Kanade have given up far too many goals to be determined. And it just whiffs off that back wall. Even in the grand finals, that back wall is still an absolute menace to these players. It's tough to read, but you know that for Doshi, he's going to want that one back. He has had his fair share of hiccups on that last one back. He's made another one here as he didn't challenge VDO. And I think that might end this game for Doshi. He'll want to forget this game. As actually it was Haku who made that whiff, sorry. VDO was right behind him. We were looking at VDO's camera. It was Haku with that mistake. And man, yeah, I mean for Yui Kanade, as a whole, they'll want to forget this game. I'm sure Doshi would be included in that, as this has been ugly for them on that back line. And you know, in some ways, maybe the substitution in Jesus Loves You has made a difference. It's definitely brought in a different look at aggression. And more importantly, it's allowed this To Be Determined team to reset this series. Knowing that they have to win from here on out. It's definitely allowed them to reset, allowed them to calm themselves down. They've definitely not been nearly as mistake-prone here as this Yui Kanade roster is. And with Game 5, almost certainly, when Game 5 over now for To Be Determined, we go to Game 6, and Yui Kanade, I worry about the pressure they now face. They've not exactly... They've been a calm team at times, but this Grand Finals, they have looked rushed on a lot of their touches. And I worry that after a loss as bad as this, are they still going to play rushed going into Game 6? I mean, this series is coming down to the wire here. Yui Kanade not exactly making this... Not exactly as dominant as they were before in the Winners Finals. And, I mean, I'm definitely... If I'm them, I'm definitely worrying a little bit about what could happen here at the end of this series. This is not exactly as pretty as they were hoping. As, again, simply put, and if I had to call out anyone on this side, it would be Doshi. I've mentioned his name a lot, and it's because he's been that last player back, and being that last player back, he's required to make a lot of pretty tough touches, pretty tough decisions. If he can make some good choices here in Game 6, he can really limit the shots that this To Be Determined side will have, and really give him and his team every reason to surge forward. But it's Game 6, and again, the pressure now really feels like it's flipped onto Yui Kanade. Even though they're leading, I mean, it feels like the advantage goes to their opponents. The stress of playing that much defense is definitely taking its toll here on Yui Kanade. They'll want an early lead. They'll get an early lead. Oh, no, they won't. Doshi missed it. He was expecting that initial save. And that's a better start than before, but still searching. Yui Kanade for that first goal, to not go down early, to not give To Be Determined a reason to continue to be dominant here in Game 6. As Haku, walking in, saved away. As Jesus Loves You will keep things high, Doshi goes for another. Haku leaves it. Late Exotic takes the call. He's got the net in front. He's hit the bar. And he knows that's a big chance wasted. Late Exotic hits the crossbar. Now he's going to get the block. He won't. Out of position and out of boost. Yui Kanade. 2 straight chances it feels like they should have scored. And To Be Determined are not going to let a team get away with that twice. That's going to hurt for Yui Kanade. The pressure is still very much on them here. Leading this Grand Finals 3-1. But it doesn't look like they look confident. They really look like they're panicking right now. And maybe the most worried they've looked all night. And it's when they're in the lead in the most important match of the night. As Haku kept away, Doshi goes again. Up in the air, flip reset. Doshi trying to fake this one under Slushy, but well challenged here. To Be Determined. Winning out the midfield. That's a huge pinch. And look who's waiting. It's Doshi. Well, that's a little bit of fortune. But it will go a long way. Haku and Doshi connecting when they really didn't even think of each other. But they'll be taking any goal they can. Tied at 1, UE Kanade. Maybe hoping this can be the start of their return to grace here, as another chance in front. Haku will go for it, but it'll go the wrong direction for him. VDL beats Doshi. Steal it with boost is VDL, but not anymore. Haku will take this up in the air. Doshi. Oh, that's a great first touch. Will go to the corner. Play it exotic, waiting, but unable to put on a shot. And Haku will have to slow things down while his teammates recover. Maybe a little bit more normalcy here for both these teams. A lot more back and forth. We've seen so many goals last game. Felt like it was more stop and go than anything else. Now we're seeing more continued ongoing pressure. It's going to be a much less high-scoring game, it feels. It's going to come down to a few key moments. As VDL, Blade Exotic takes it. UE Kanade looking for the lead. Blade Exotic! He'll jump in. He'll take first strike. And UE Kanade with the lead now in Game 6. They could win the championship here. As Blade Exotic will go for another off the kickoff play. Flip reset in front. VDL saves it, but it's gonna bounce in anyways. Doshi with a second goal. It bounced off of a couple players in front of the goal, but it will find its way in. And for UE Kanade, after the Game 5 that they would rather forget, it's Game 6. They may have missed their first couple opportunities. They have not missed their last couple. And now a much more comfortable position for them. But the work's far from done. Still 2 minutes to go. To be determined. Have a lot of time to answer back. Doshi to clear. Kept upfield by Jesus Loves You. Blade Exotic. To be determined. Rushing for every chance they can get. Right now, though, they have not gotten close enough to the net. Now they will. That's on target. That will totally find the net there. VDL, I think it was looking for a passing play instead, but the bumps just wreck the UE Kanade backline. And again, that lead for Kanade, it may be more comfortable. It isn't comfortable, though. It isn't easy. Still a lot of time to go here as Slushy pinches it. Caps up in the air. VDL. Haku. Can't go. Jesus Loves You. Can't put it on the net. And the sub of To Be Determined. Can't find it, but here goes VDL. He definitely can. But he'll go right under Haku as Doshi keeps this one up and away. So much defense for Kanade. They've been playing defense for the last at least half a minute. So now they finally got some breathing room. They can just let this time tick off the clock. As Slushy to the side. Waiting for that first challenge. Now gives it up to a teammate. VDL. Oh, gets by too, but can't recover fast enough. This one will go to target, but Slushy's waiting. VDL. Challenged back by Doshi as UE Kanade just waiting. One goal surely could win it for them, but they're just looking to keep this lead. They don't need to score anymore. But they'll look anyways, as Haku couldn't score there. Blade Exotic left alone. He'll jump. Got bumped into it by Slushy. But he'll make the block anyways. And To Be Determined, running low on time. They've got to score here. As this ball deflected. VDL. Long first touch. Haku keeps it away. Off the sidewall. Doshi using everything he has just to get it out. But it's an infield play. Kept up off the back wall. Now or never. Blade Exotic to hit it to the floor. UE Kanade are champions of the Masters Division. 6 games it took, but they will win this one. That game advantage came in handy. For To Be Determined, what a performance, a lot better in the Grand Finals. Unfortunately, it will not be good enough. UE Kanade will win this one. As on the other side of the back, I got an update. NES Censored winning in the Champions Division in a 4-3 series against SP Reckless in the Grand Finals. So, another close Grand Finals. Again, shoutouts to Zodex, who's been streaming all of that amazing action. 4-3 will be that scoreline. As NES Censored will be champions of the Champions Division. And of course, for us, Yui Kanade, champions of the Masters Division, over to be determined. In 6 games, they will take this one. So, huge performance, huge victory, and now for Yu-Gi-Oh! Esports, they can rest easy. That Grand Finals was looking like it was one that they maybe were going to lose outward right here. By a huge victory, and they'll win this one. Reminder, tomorrow will be our Elite Division, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll get to see the best of the Serenyx League Season 0 on stream, but what it has been. Shoutouts again to our sponsors and Future Fun Design Labs, to our producer here in GAYTANA, and to all of you for watching. Thank you so much for joining the Serenyx League Masters Division Championship. Congratulations to UE. Congratulations there to UE Kanade, and to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow when the Elite Division crowns its top team. For now, take care. Have a great night. And again, we'll see you tomorrow.